Welcome to another episode of Dreamlight Valley, where today I'm going to be doing a hot spring resort speed build. So, starting off here, I'm just kind of like clearing out the, like all the debris, and the night thorns, and the flowers and whatever, to give myself a good space to work with so I don't have to keep like popping out of the furniture tab. I actually don't end up using this space later, though, so this was not a waste of time, but I'll have to go and clear out the other side in a bit. So to start out here, I kind of just throw things onto the ground, as usual. It helps me figure out like what I'm going for. Either if I already have something kind of in mind, I can get all the items out so I know what I have, maybe what I need to go get. Or in this case, where I didn't really know what I was going for, I didn't know if I wanted it to be more natural or be like kind of not industrial, but like developed, be like a building. So I was just kind of throwing anything out that I was like, this could like have something to do with this hot spring idea that I have, and I'll go from there. So I ended up throwing out a lot of like tables, like waterfalls and stuff, anything that I felt I could use, I guess. So after I kind of put everything on the ground and I started to see that I was going to go for more of a like building or more like less like naturally occurring type thing, I decided to put it down here instead so that it's like in front of all the staircases. I figured that would make the most sense for something, for like buildings to be there rather than off in the corner, especially since I do want to do like a forest or a park for the last part, I'm thinking. So I was like, that makes sense to be like in the back, kind of the untouched area. So now that this is all cleared out, I started just putting some trees down because I knew that I wanted to transition kind of into a forest on that top right side. And also kind of what I was going for at this point was I was thinking I could have like a kind of like building-like builds on the left by the stairs, and then on this right side, that's where all of the springs are, and they're like kind of tucked into this little forest. I thought that would be really cute. I was taking a lot of inspiration from the like Japanese hot spring resorts. Again, like with the Japanese, that's just what I'm familiar with. I know they're probably in a lot of places, but these are the ones that I knew, so. And I know they're a lot of times in a very natural area, so I wanted to kind of do that. Here I'm kind of putting this little table here. I really wanted to use this table. I wanted to use all of the Christmas items that I could. And the little tree felt so cute. Like when I think of like a resort, ironically I was kind of like imagining a ski resort for this part. They always like at Christmas they put a big tree up and it's just so cozy and cute. And I really wanted to like have that here. So it's by like the big table where people can eat. I suppose there'd be more tables usually, but it's limited space. It's a small resort, so it's where you could eat. Now, I kind of like flip back and forth a lot. It's really hard for me to like do a whole section of a build like all in one, especially when it's like multiple pretty different parts like this. So sorry that it's not like consistent really, but now I'm kind of working on these little hot spring, like the hot springs themselves. I decided to put this path down. Paths I'm finding are the bane of my existence, but I just felt like, I don't know, I just imagined, especially with those ice patches, like walking back from your hot spring like on just snow and ice. I don't know, I wouldn't want to do that. And then here I started to put some paths down to make like a flooring. I ended up having to make more of this path later because I didn't have enough, but I think it worked. It doesn't have the snow like the rest of the paths, so I think that makes it look even more like indoors kind of in comparison. So, but you'll see I run out right here, so I just started putting things on the snow because I don't I was too lazy to go and like do it at the time. So I started making this little seating area here. It's like, I come back to it later, I think, but I started making that little area with the fireplace, and then I put that bench down, which blocks the entire path. I noticed that like way later, but yeah, that's not gonna stay there. Here, I start making like a, I was trying to like make a fountain, you know, like, I don't even know. You can see I'm struggling because I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted. These stupid bushes would not look nice. They just, the item size wasn't right, I guess, for that. But yeah, I wasted so much time on this tiny little area here, and eventually, this is not at all like how it's gonna look. I don't think I even used that fountain in the end, because it just, I tried for so long, you'll see a bit later, but I was getting so frustrated. So I moved on, and I started to try and like do something with the little baths again. I thought I was gonna do this like rock path around that pond. I did not. You see, I got rid of them, and I just sat there contemplating my life choices. And eventually I got back, but yeah, as usual, paths were just not it for me. So here I start trying to kind of pull items from my little dwindling stock up there in the top. And I put these little waterfalls behind. I thought, like, I was thinking a lot of hot springs will have, like, flowing water, especially if they're more natural. These ones are obviously man-made, but I don't know. Thought it added to the ambiance, and I added the little rugs to make it, like, so you can step onto, like, something kind of warm rather than the cold brick. And here I am, fussing with this dang area again, putting down a bunch of random stuff. Like, it just wasn't working. I had no idea how to fill that space. The same thing happened with my winter market, where I put a park there, and I'm still to this day not the biggest fan of the park. As you can see, I just stole the fences from it because I just didn't care. And I was like, this is gonna save it. It'll make it look more natural, and it didn't. It really didn't. So, yeah, sorry for the wasted time. I wanted to show kind of my process in a way. I don't know if that's helpful or interesting to anybody, but there's a lot of back and forth, at least when I do it. Like, it's really hard for me to get to figure out, like, the vibe that I'm going for, or, like, how things fit, especially with, like, transition areas, because that little space is right between this, like, building and then this kind of forest that I'm going for. So, I don't know. I hope it's helpful. Then I'm going back, still adding my little, robes, like the robe, shelves and stuff for each. And it was really, I messed with the sled. I considered turning that into like a sled shed. I didn't do that though, I don't know. Yeah, as I was doing this, I started to realize, I was like, I don't know if I didn't want them to be so close together and like numerous, because I don't know, I feel like they should be really private, and I didn't think about that when I was placing them initially, so I started to try and like separate them. I did end up only having these two in the end, so it's a really small resort, but I think that fits with like what we were doing anyways. But yeah, that way they can have a bit more privacy, like, while they enjoy the water and whatever. I don't know, I think too much about this, about like the logistics of it, but I don't know, it helps me sometimes. So here I'm trying to like bulk out the trees a little bit. I wanted them to be really thick, like you can't see through them thick, to kind of to kind of increase the, like, privacy feeling, I really didn't... I didn't want it to feel like it was super close. Here's my game, taking, like, a whole minute just to load because there was just so much stuff I did in one go. This poor game is just chugging along. It'll do this weird thing where it, like, if you do too much at once and then you try to, like, back out and it saves, it'll, like, reverse some of the things you did, so those bushes are back randomly, which, it's fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. Oh yeah, I also, when I was doing this, I saw all of the, like sorting options. I hadn't somehow never, like, scrolled down and even noticed, and there's all kinds of stuff there, like, it says, like, Hercules, Ancient Symbols, which I think is from, the Atlantis movie? Maybe? So, like, I think someone's probably already talked about it, but I had no idea. So I'm excited for that, though. Some of the movies or some of the, like, characters that I saw in that little thing I'm really excited for them. I loved Hercules as a kid. I saw, forgive me for calling it Atlantis, I'm just stupid right now, apparently. But I saw that movie for the first time very recently, and I loved it. I still need to get Stitch. So here I am, I'm just checking up on these little... on what I have so far, seeing how it looks like walking around. I was worried about the trees. I also had to... I hate that you have to, like, hand light all of the candles, and then I found out that they, like, unlight themselves automatically either, like, over time or when it rains or something. So I'm pretty mad about that, I'll be honest. But I changed the time a little to see, because I thought it would look really cute at this, like, dusk hour, and it totally does. I should have done my final tour at that time. I probably will, like, when I am done, because I think that with all the lights and the snow, this is just a beautiful time of day, unless I do, like, maybe if I do early morning. That makes me think of winter, I think, because, like, Christmas morning, waking up to the snow. So here, I'm putting some, like, little touches on the resort area, and so I'm adding just little decorations and adding this fence to kind of block off whatever that area is supposed to be at the time. Because I wanted to kind of simulate, like, a wall, so I needed these, like, tall items. I put these pillars everywhere to kind of match the big well in the middle with the marble. I ended up putting it there. I could have put that little fountain, but I wanted that to be where I spawn, so that it's easy to get to Elsa's and Anna's house. So it's kind of just slapped in the middle there. I hope it doesn't look too awkward. That was more of a convenience thing, really. So I'm just, like, I'm kind of increasing the width so that it's more centered with the staircase. It was kind of overlapping before, which was awkward. So then I added the piano, and I moved this over kind of to give more space for that. Because, I don't know, I feel like every cozy little resort has a piano, and there's always that person who actually knows how to play piano, and they're just, like, going, and it's so, like, you're sitting by the fire just listening to this piano, and it made me so happy to just picture these little resorts. Even though I've never actually been to one. I've been to things that are similar, but mostly I see them in, like, videos and pictures. But it just made me so happy, because that was really what I was going for, and it's, like, my favorite aesthetic is just, like, the browns, the cozy colors, warm fires. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, here, I finally started to figure this area out. I turned it into a seating area. That's kind of my default at this point, I think. I don't know, I was thinking, like, outside, you know, there's probably, like, a campfire, like, not a fireplace, but, like, a real campfire, and you can, you know, people talk, they roast marshmallows, you probably have a warm drink from inside, and so that was really my only logic. Otherwise, I'll put seating areas, places to fill it out when I can't think of anything. Like, I have a lot of picnics around the rest of my valley, but picnic didn't feel like it would make the most sense here, so I went with a little bench. And I love this bench. Oh my gosh. It's one of my favorite items, honestly. So, just finishing touches kind of coming up on the end here. I'm filling out the trees a little more because I want this place to look like it's on the edge of the forest. I kind of wish that I could have had forests like blocking it from the winter market too. I think that would have helped, but I don't know. I didn't want to take up the space for that. With all those staircases, I was already kind of limited in that little corner, but I'm okay with it. There's plenty of forest here to go on the right here to make up for that. There's so many trees. I probably could have chilled a little bit. But yeah, I'm just walking through here, making sure everything looks good, touching some stuff up. And yeah, I got rid of that because that was too much fire by the trees. And getting a little privacy fence put in. That didn't work out, but and we're done. Okay, after many hours, probably like 3, I actually don't know, I have finally finished our little ski lodge spa resort thing. I don't know exactly. I'll figure out a name for it. But we have this area. It's kind of supposed to be like pseudo indoors. I did the best I could with that. But we have our little dining area here for the guests with the tree in the background, all pretty. Got a little stand with some soup, some hot chocolate or something there, and some robes to be comfy. I don't think it makes sense, but I think it looks pretty cute. Yeah, so this is how it looks when you walk in. And then we have this little area, like sitting around a fire. I was very disappointed that you can't put fireplaces outside. That would have been absolutely perfect, but this was the second best thing I could do. The piano, which I think is pretty cute. And then, so this is kind of like the like lodge, you know? I think I eventually went for kind of a hot springs resort eventually. So here's like where everyone stays. There's no bedrooms. Maybe that's what the castle is over there. Who knows? Who knows? And then come outside. Okay, this is gonna be a nightmare to like traverse through because of all the trees. I am sorry, but they look real aesthetic. So we have this. I probably could have paved it. Maybe I will. Not now though. So maybe I'll pave it. Maybe not. Okay, and then as we go down, we've got all these candles lighting the way. It's a fire hazard, probably especially this one, but it's a cute fire hazard. And then we have this little privacy screen pulled to the side because no one's using it. And we have the first hot spring, or little bath. I guess, like, it's kind of more of those, like, man-made, it's pulling from somewhere else, but yeah, we have the, oh my gosh, we have the waterfall for the ambiance. There's the lake back there, the pond, the robes, and some fruit. Get hungry. And I think it's really cute. These rugs, I think, help keep your feet warm, you know, while you get your shoes back on or something. I don't know. I've never been to a hot spring. I'm doing my best. And then we have one more. This one's a little more secluded. Got some coconuts. And kind of the same thing. Some robes and a little snack. Lots of candles. This is really big. We're so big in this universe. But that's okay. I think it's really cute, especially like, let me do this. So like, especially if, you know, you see it in the distance there and it kind of opens up as you walk through. As long as you don't turn, as long as you're walking straight down the path, the trees aren't such a menace. But yeah, it doesn't feel like a lot, like walking through it, it's like relatively small. We've still got that big chunk over there to do. But it definitely took a while. It's a lot of items. I didn't get to lean on trees as much as I thought I would, but I'm actually really happy with it, which makes me happy. I was very doubtful that I was going to be able to pull this off. I was talking in the last video, like, yeah, in like things that should be indoors, putting them outdoors aren't my strong suit. I stole the fence from this. We don't talk about that. And yeah, I think it's really cozy. It feels much less Christmassy, much more winter, which I'm kind of happy. Like, I'm both happy about. I think we've got a good mix. So, yeah, I think I'm really happy with it. But that is it for this little speed build for this video. I hope you guys liked it, maybe found some inspiration. I think it's super cute, and I haven't seen anything like it in this game. So I'm super happy with it, and that is more than I thought I was gonna get. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.